What's going on, guys? If you didn't already know, my name is Orange Keebler, and this is my channel. Today I have a bunch of information about Destiny and the Rise of Iron that I'd like to share with you, so let's get into it. As most of you know, the new DLC Rise of Iron comes out for Destiny in just a few days, and I for one am very excited about it. Now this one might not be as big as the Taken King, but it should be as big as the House of Wolves, if not bigger. It will feature a new social space called Fellwinter's Peak, a new patrolable area called the Plaguelands, and a new competitive arena called Archon's Forge. You get some new story missions and quest lines, a new strike, and a few reimagined ones. In these new areas, you'll encounter a new enemy called Shiva, which are infected Fallen. There are 4 new Crucible maps, one of which is a new PlayStation exclusive. Also a new Crucible game type called Supremacy. The new light level cap will be 385 and a new raid will drop on September 23rd. When the hard version of that raid drops, the light level will go up to 400. We will also be getting some new armor, weapons, and rewards, and artifacts have been completely retooled and become a more important part of your gear. We will also be getting a new item called Ornaments, which is a new way to reskin armor and weapons. There's a new item being added to the Nightfall and Strike playlist that randomly drops at the end of the mission, which is called a skeleton key, and will open up a treasure chest called Strike Cord, which is available on strikes featuring exclusive items to get a guaranteed drop. We will also be getting some new exotics and the return of one from year 1 called the Gallahorn. Now it's not as powerful as it once was, but I do believe it'll still be useful. With the pre-order of Rise of Iron, you get a black version of the new Gallahorn, also a new sparrow called Gallow Wing. For those of you preparing for Rise of Iron, some of the things you can do are edge your faction reputation towards the next ranking so that when Rise of Iron comes out, faction packages will drop Rise of Iron level items. I would also max out my Glimmer and my Legendary marks. Now, if your Glimmer's starting to max out from all those blues and greens you're dismantling since the update, I would spend them on ammo synthesis, telemetries, weapon parts, and armor materials. Also, if you're hitting the cap on your legendary marks, I recommend that you buy planet materials and any weapon that's available currently through the vendors that you like, because once Rise of Iron comes out, they may not be there or they may have different perk rolls. Now, in regards to your legendary weapons from year 2 that you don't want anymore and you're thinking about dismantling, I would hold on to them as long as you have the space. Now, some of you will be hoarding legendary engrams and exotic engrams for year 3, but if you can hold on to them, you can dismantle them for marks, which you can use towards buying items in Rise of Iron. For those of you who are not currently at the max light level of 335, don't worry. Once Rise of Iron drops, the blues you'll be finding should help propel you past 335. On September 8, Bungie released an update that made some changes to the game and also fixed some problems with it. It also included a weapons balancing that nerfed some of our favorite weapons, but also buffed some ones that really needed it. For example, Bullion's Gemini and Fabian's Strategy both got buffs that make them feel more exotic. For more information about this weapons balancing, you should check out a YouTuber named Aztecross Gaming. He has some really informative videos that he's been putting out about these balances. I will link his YouTube channel in the description below so you can check out his videos. Give him a like and subscribe if you like what he's got to offer. With this update came a new exotic sidearm called the Trespasser, which released before Rise of Iron was available. Now, Bungie hasn't said whether that was on purpose or an accident, but have clearly stated they're okay with it. It appears the only way to get this new exotic is randomly from the decryption of secondary exotic engrams. So if you don't already have some secondary exotic engrams you want to blow through, stock up on your 3 coins and go exotic hunting. I have been after this exotic since the update came out and have had little luck decrypting one of my very own. However, my brother, who has been playing Destiny since shortly after it came out and only gets to play a couple times a week, got his Trespasser from the very first secondary exotic that he decrypted after the update, which goes to show that the Cryptarch can still be awesome, but yet very cruel. On September 15th, Bungie did a maintenance to their system, after which players started noticing what looked to be like little bugs flying around their head, kind of equivalent to leaving your porch light on in a Midwest home during the summertime, if you know what I mean. What was quickly and unofficially dubbed Space Herpes turns out to be a buff in the form of data mites that are swarming around your head. There was also the appearance of a new web page called Owl Sector that seems to be in correlation with these mites. There appear to be 5 of these buffs, and all have to do with increased experience and reputation gain. They all seem very similar to that Nightfall bonus we used to get back in year 1 from completing it that would give us increased experience and reputation gain, and that cool flaming head, which Bungie removed with the Taken King, stating it was not being used as intended and intended on retooling it and bringing it back at a later date. Aside from the reputation and experience gain, there is yet to be seen what the purposes of these buffs are. Bungie has been pretty tight-lipped about what it is and what they're doing. A couple of theories come to mind, but just my 2 cents, mind you. My first theory is this is just meant to help you rank up your character and your gear and your subclasses all before the Rise of Iron takes place, and very possibly for a while after the Rise of Iron drops. My second theory is that this may also be a social experiment that Bungie is conducting, since it requires people to play together to receive these buffs, aka Space Herpes. Now, my last theory is that this may be something that plays out in the shadows and in the background as something that will lead into future content and hopefully Destiny 2. That would be pretty awesome in my opinion, and I'm hoping this is where it goes. This is all the information I had for you on this video. For more detailed information and a first-hand look at some of the stuff coming in Rise of Iron, you should check out some popular YouTubers like My Name is Bife, Datto Does Destiny, and MoreConsole. They got invited out to Bungie to try some of the new Rise of Iron stuff and have been releasing videos detailing this new DLC. Be careful, there are spoilers in the videos. I will also link their channels in the description below. As for me, I'll be out hunting the new Trespasser while I wait for the new DLC. As always, I'm Orange Keebler, and I've got your 6.